Um, hey everyone, are you a fan of both Superman and Spider-Man? Uh, I know I am. Uh, and do you remember Smallville? The show that brought Superman's origin story to the small screen way back in 2001, years before Christopher Nolan's Dark Knight trilogy. Well, guess what? This show actually had ties to a very well-known Spider-Man character, Madam Webb. Um, do you remember Madam Webb from the recent movie that didn't fare too well? If you didn't care for it, you'd be in good company as it's sitting pretty at just 11% on the tomato meter with critics and a modest 55% with general audiences. Um, Rotten Tomatoes Dictionary defines rotten as bad or incorrect. And in this case, we think it aptly describes the movie. Uh, it was far from the epic crossover we dreamt about. Now, let's break down why Madam Web, a movie we could just call Rotten, uh, actually started from an interesting connection to Smallville in its first season. Here's a quick recap. Smallville, 2001, 2011, focused on young Clark Kent, played brilliantly by Tom Welling, as he navigated life in the quaint town of Smallville while coming to terms with being the future Superman. With a 10-season run, Smallville didn't shy away from connecting to other projects within the broader DC universe, or even indirectly to the Marvel Cinematic Universe, in the sixth episode of the first season titled Hourglass. Clark Kent, our beloved farm boy with extraordinary abilities, visits a local senior center as part of his volunteer work, and the community is seen for many of the treatments. There, he meets an intriguing elderly lady, surprise, surprise. This lady, played by actress Susan Chitty, isn't just another citizen of Smallville. She actually shares some remarkably similar traits to Madam Web from the Marvel Universe, to be discussed later. Um, and in the episode, this blind woman, who later is revealed to be Cassandra, starts seeing visions of the future after her sight was lost due to the meteor shower that also gifted Clark his powers. One could argue her visions guide Clark to make better choices about his destiny and future relationships, essentially helping him become the hero we know. There's definitely an eerie sense of comparison between Smallville's Cassandra and the Madam Web from the Marvel Comics. Both characters are blind and can predict the future, and they are keen on helping the main characters of their respective franchises, Clark Kent in Smallville and Peter Parker in Spider-Man comics. The discrepancy in their appearances and stories might have been unintentional or quite possibly a subtle nod to a lesser known Marvel character at the time. Moving on, the Easter egg became more relevant when Sony's Madam Web movie was released. And, well, you know what happened next. The stakes of these connections between universes can be pretty high. For instance, the success or failure of a Superman movie can truly swing the tide for the DC universe. Though Smallville and other similar shows aren't directly responsible for Madam Web the movie, it does make you ponder the intricate web of ideas within the universe. And honestly, could someone have predicted that a small town young Superman TV series from 20 years ago would find its way into a comic book movie, creating so much hubbub today? Here's a fun fact. Since Smallville dealt with DC characters, any connection to the Marvel characters had to be an indirect nod or adapted in some way. But Smallville and small videos, small and policy in books and in title that this is adopt. Remember Cyborg, Hawkman, or Blue Beetle, uh, or even the appearances in the Arrowverse. Smallville did the unthinkable by bringing elements of the DC and Marvel universes together, even if it was indirect or unconscious. Uh, but whether it was through Madam Webb or any other character, it seems that Smallville has proven that these superhero universes are more interconnected than anyone could have ever seen and imagined. And when people say, with that said, thanks for watching, and until next time. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel for more fascinating superhero facts and movie reviews.